Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Let's Talk. I'm here today with Francis Granger. We're going to talk about the season of football. This consists of his team of the season, player of the season, manager of the season, and whatnot. So hello, Francis.
All right, Dan.
How are you doing today?
Yeah, not too bad. Just got a commentary clip in for this competition earlier on.
All right, not bad. What was that for?
It's a chance to report at Euro 2012.
Really?
Yeah. So
not bad.
You like choose a goal of your choice and you just do a 20-second clip.
Ah, not bad. What are you hoping to get in that, a goal?
Oh, just a 6-month internship and you
Right.
report at the Euros.
Not bad.
Hopefully an England final.
Yeah.
Yeah, moving on.
Let's not talk about England and the Euros. So anyway, yeah. You're a Newcastle fan, aren't you?
Yes.
How do you think their season went?
Oh, absolutely brilliant. I mean, probably mid-season would have been fairly decent, considering they lost Barton. Carroll had already gone, and they lost Jose Enrique, Nolan as well. A lot of their spine, and they've replaced these players with from the French leagues, such as Cabaye, and Demba Ba, of course. And they've surprised everyone, really.
Yeah. If someone said to you at the beginning of the season, Newcastle are going to finish in 5th place and they're going to be fighting for Champions League place, what would you say?
I'd have probably snapped their hand off. That's the old cliche, but...
Do you think in the years to come they'll actually be challenging for the regular Champions League spot?
It depends if they can sort of build their squad. I mean, the thing is with Newcastle, that they've got these players established. Bar and Cisse, a lot of big clubs would be going for them. If they can find replacements not as well known but have done well in sort of other leagues, and they can sort of handle the English game, then possibly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, I think if I was to choose my team of the season out of all the 20 teams that are in the Premier League, I'd probably choose Newcastle as a team of the season because they've just surprised everyone. I mean, I think everyone expected it to be like a 2-horse race for Manchester United, Manchester City this season for the title, but I don't think anyone expected Newcastle to be up there challenging for a Champions League spot. Or
I mean, they were very close until that Wigan defeat, but
yeah.
And
let's not talk about the final day of the Premier League with Manchester United and Manchester City. It was very exciting.
Most astonishing finish I've ever heard.
I'm a United fan, because I haven't said that yet, and I'm a United fan. Don't hate, please. But yeah, it was sad for me because I was checking on my phone. I wasn't watching the game. I was looking at the updates. It was 1-0 to United, 90 minutes full time, and then it was 2-1 to QPR at 90 minutes, and I was like, oh my God, we've won the Premier League. All of a sudden, 2-2, I was like, we've lost it. I knew as soon as they scored 2 that as soon as they equalised, I knew it was over because I knew they was going to score again.
What, even though there was probably, seconds to go?
Yeah, there were seconds to go. I knew, just our luck, that it was going to happen. And it did, but I say well done to Manchester City. They deserve it. They've been the best team this season, and they deserve it.
I mean, when they were 2-1 down, Man City were not playing well. They were sort of forcing it. And it was a sort of dream scenario, and they'd have to score 2, but it was no one could have. That was for pure fantasy. I thought it was Man United.
It'll never happen again. I can guarantee.
Not that sort of finish.
It'll never happen again for at least 100 years.
Yeah.
Anything.
Arguably, that might clip the. Obviously, when you won it in '99.
Yeah.
That treble, Solskjaer.
Oh, triple.
Yeah.
Oh, good triple. I love that triple. I'll always remember that. So, you're going to talk us about your team of the season, I believe.
Yep. I think in goalkeeper, Joe Hart, he's been really consistent.
Yeah, I think that's undisputable.
There's a lot of maturity for the age, and he's only 24. But without a shadow of a doubt, the clear head England's #1 goalkeeper. And he's just, he displaced Shay Given about last season, and Shay Given, in my view, is one of the best keepers in the world.
You would say that.
When he's performing, he's absolutely...
Yeah, he's a brilliant keeper, Shay Given.
And to do that, I think it's clear outright. I mean, De Gea's not been consistent, as we know.
He started his season shaky, then all of a sudden he became unbeatable, then he let go again.
But I think some of the saves Joe Hart makes, and he's got a command.
Joe Hart is definitely the best keeper in England at the moment, I would say.
Yeah.
Tim Krul second.
Yeah, that's a...
I think Tim Krul's been sensational this season.
I'd put Brad Friedel in there.
It's
still at 40.
Michel Vorm as well. He's been brilliant.
Yeah. So is John Ruddy.
True, yeah. Norwich and Swansea, they surprised
I
us.
was talking to my mate about this, and well, after Joe Hart, there's not the keepers are there are not very good, and and in terms of who's been like consistent, perhaps John Ruddy should be in the Euros.
Yeah, I think
Hart.
he should.
Yeah,
I think Grant Holt should be as well.
Possibly. I think they need a bit of experience, and I think he needs a friendly.
Yeah,
he needs to show some.
Well, there's a friendly coming up. I think Roy Hodgson should give him a chance.
I agree. I think so. I'm not sure about 23. That's a separate matter. We can chat about it if you want.
Yeah.
Well, probably up front, I think what Rooney's a given. He's already been selected.
Yeah.
I think Welbeck's really sort of. I mean, he seems to have put Hernandez on the bench, and Hernandez was like your player of the season.
Yeah.
And was considered like world class. Daniel Sturridge has been top 4.
I think he's a bit selfish, is Daniel Sturridge.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe too much pressure's been put on him. But
he's got a fight against Drogba and Torres. I mean, obviously,
I think Drogba's a big game player, but he's not consistent enough to play all season. And Torres is sort of...
Torres is getting back in his game.
And he's good to work off. But
I just want to clarify something with Torres. I love Torres. He's like my favourite player.
I was so happy with him when he got that hat-trick.
I'd also like to say, people who criticise him for joining Chelsea, and his form's gone down. His form was dying at Liverpool because he had his knee surgery, didn't he?
Yeah, it was dying.
And ever since then, he just hasn't been right.
He didn't get in the World Cup team, did he?
No, exactly. So people have to remember, it's not because of Chelsea.
It shouldn't have been 50 million, though. I stand by that.
Yeah, I agree.
Ridiculous.
Shouldn't have been 50 million. No one's 50 million.
No.
I mean, even Ronaldo, he's 80 million. He shouldn't be that.
Messi's 60, 70 million, maybe.
Yeah, well, Messi's unbuyable. I don't think...
Yeah, no
one's ever going to buy Messi.
100 or 90.
No one's ever going to buy Messi. So I think Messi's unrateable.
There's someone that you can probably see Man City at some point soon putting up 200 million bid.
1 billion for him.
Yeah.
Have you heard Man City, they're in the driving seat for Van Persie, apparently?
I don't know. Has that come out today?
It came out yesterday. Apparently, the teams are after him are Real Madrid and Barcelona, of course. And then there's Man City and Man United. And I thought, Man United, what?
Yeah, well, Arsenal have a fight to keep Van Persie.
But apparently Man City want to pay 25 million for him. And
Van Persie?
Yeah, 25 million for Van Persie.
I think Arsene Wenger will be asking for more there.
Yeah, I think he's
like 40 or more.
40. But they're going to pay 25 million for him, and it's 250,000 per week, I think, or per game. Yeah. Which is their normal standard.
Just short of Yaya Torres.
Yeah, well, they always do that. It's like they buy a team that United want. Not a team. They buy a player that United wants. They up the price and then they give them 250,000 per week.
Yeah.
All the time. That's what they do. Damn City. In case you don't know, I hate them.
Obviously.
So moving on to your team again. So you've got Joe Hart in goal. Who's next?
Right back, I think Kyle Walker. I would have said Maker Richards at the start, but I think Richards been on the bench recently, and Kyle Walker's really sort of come on. He's like complete right back. He's been consistent defensively, gets forward, and he's only 21, 22.
That free kick he scored as well.
That was brilliant. It was bent for outside.
That was Beckham-esque.
Yeah,
definitely brilliant.
Probably in the top 10 of the season.
Should he be in the Euros?
Yeah, I think so.
I agree.
Yeah,
definitely in the Euros. And then who next?
It's got to be Vincent Kompany. He's been really brilliant. He's like like one of the best centre backs in the world.
He's been like a brick wall at back, hasn't he?
I mean, the spine of him and Yaya Toure when they're on their game, it's been ridiculously good.
Has he been your captain of the season?
That's what actually I've put a list, but I haven't put a captain.
Because he's definitely been the best leader.
Because there's Scott Parker as well, which is all separate. I'm jumping the gun here.
Don't like Scott Parker.
I think Scott Parker's been brilliant.
Really?
Yeah.
He's out of the Euros as well, isn't he?
Possibly. There was some tests.
They're saying Gerrard might be the captain for the Euros.
Yeah, I hope not, because I think if Parker goes, Gerrard and Lampard, they can be good for their clubs, but they've not really done it together, and they're getting on, and we need a sort of new guard.
Who should have the England caps here? Who do you say should need it?
Well, arguably Scott Parker, because he's got more the leadership abilities in him, and he's like, I think a couple of seasons ago, people I probably said, he's good for West Ham, he's good for like these small teams, but what about? Yeah. And now he's like, he's probably one of the best centre bids for England around on his day.
See, I'd probably go to either Joe Hart or Rooney.
Joe Hart.
Because they're both consistent players.
Joe Hart will be in the England team for a long, long time. Bar some miracle.
I think even one day, Phil Jones could be the captain of England.
Possibly.
I mean, I think it might.
I don't know about Rooney. Yeah, he's good. He's mature, but there's still some bits that I wasn't sure I'd give him captaincy.
Well, he's been England's. Well, I wouldn't say most consistent player, but he plays for England like all the time because he's probably England's most famous and best player.
Sort of marketing person for England.
But he is England's best player in the world. Well, not in the world, in England.
Yeah, but I need to see a decent performance from him. At least one good game in the Euros.
He doesn't play well.
Because I remember he was really good in the World Cup qualifying. He scored 30 goals for Man United, and then he just slumped.
I know, he never performs for... Well, no one performs for England, do they?
And there was that excuse that, he should have played on his own and not in a two. But I'm sorry, if you're good, you've got to be adaptable. You've got to be able to work off another player.
Yeah, exactly. So, who's next on the list?
This is a bit debatable. I think Colaccini. I mean, other than Company, we've got some other good centre-backs on papers. But in terms of consistency through the season, I think he's really come on. I mean, he was criticised early on being a bit sort of head in the clouds and all that. But he's been, I think he's really strong in the air.
Yeah. Well, if you was asked to ask me for another centre back, I would say I don't know.
Yeah.
Because there's been Company, and then
if Vidic hadn't been injured, possibly.
Yeah.
Johnny Evans is.
He's stepped up to the thing, but he's
not sure I'd give him.
He's not a United player. He's a Sunderland player.
And Ferdinand, but he's shown his age.
Yeah, he's getting old.
He's getting fragile as well.
He's a bench player now, I think, which is sad because he's been a good player. But oh well, that's a bit sad because he's out the Euros as well, apparently.
Yeah, so Gary Cahill and
Cahill. Yeah, I like Cahill.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you was to ask me for another centre back, I'd say I don't know. I'm going to do a 3-4-3 formation because I literally could not name another centre back that's been decent this season.
Yeah,
apart from
Vermaelen, but still,
nah, not top notch. Who's next?
Leighton Baines. I think he's been consistent. He's been consistent for the last 3 or 4 years at left back position. He's got more caps in England. And I think he's long-term replacement for Ashley Cole, who's still good, but he's getting on a bit. And I think Leighton Baines could easily play in a Champions League team.
Not bad. He plays for Everton, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Do you think they'll ever be in Europe soon? I mean, they've picked Liverpool this season, but let's be honest, Liverpool haven't been the best team this season, have they?
Yeah, they made it. I mean, they did it once. They got into fourth, and they didn't spend but they need. Yeah, they haven't got any money coming in.
Everton are probably one of the teams in the Premier League that I would love to see in the Champions League.
Yeah,
or Europa League. I'd love to see them there because they deserve it. I mean, David Moyes is an excellent manager. He's been brilliant for Everton.
He'd have been alright for England. He became the best out of a team of what he's got. He's one of the best for it.
Exactly. Next up, we've got
David Silva, I think.
Oh, David Silva. I like David Silva.
Yeah,
he plays for City, but I like him. He's a good player.
Yeah,
he's been. I wouldn't say he's been consistent because he'd have a few off games, doesn't he? In the little spell that
Man
City had where they lost a few.
But on the day, he's been
brilliant. Is he a top?
Full flair, very creative and all.
Was he a top assister for this season?
Possibly.
I think he might have been. I'll have to research that. I'll have a look. You keep talking, I'll research it.
Right. So on to the next one?
Yeah, who's next?
Yeah, got to be Yaya Toure.
I agree. Sensational player.
Yeah. Against Man United, he was outstanding.
No, he's been outstanding against everyone.
That move, such a good move from Barcelona.
I know.
Yeah.
I think...
so good at winning the ball.
Yeah.
And then him with, I think I mentioned Scott Parker.
Scott Parker, yeah, you've mentioned him, yeah. What's the appeal to Scott Parker? No thanks.
And he's got sort of good leadership. He's good tackle of the ball.
Yeah. He's been brilliant, yeah. Here we go. Top assisters, we've got David Silva, number 1, with 15 assists.
Yeah.
Then we've got Antonio Valencia and Juan Mata, second, with 13 assists. So...
that leads on to my next one, actually. No, on the left side, this is debatable. And I thought of Bale, and he was really good, but he's tailed off a bit. He's still quality. I'm going to go Antonio Valencia.
He's been brilliant this season.
Yeah,
He's definitely.
I think your best player of the season.
Definitely. He's
I
been
think
the
at the
most
start-
consistent.
I think at the start they thought, well, it'd be Nani and Ashley Young.
Oh,
Just because
don't get me
on
started on
paper.
Ashley Young.
But I think Valencia's given the chance and he's really...
Yeah, I mean, he's made a brilliant buy there from Wigan.
Yeah.
I mean, last season he was good, but he wasn't top class. But this season he's
No.
been top class.
Yeah.
That's how Redknapp will say he's a top player.
Yeah, getting
Well-
sort of near that sort of world-class category,
Yeah.
possibly.
But, yeah, I mean, Ashley Young, I mean, do we want to talk about Ashley Young?
Yeah, he's a diving bastard. I don't like that, but
No,
you've got strength in depth with him and Ashley
yeah.
Young.
If he didn't dive, he'd be a brilliant player. But because he goes in the box and someone like pokes him, he falls over.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's got that new role and he's just behind Rooney. He's
Yeah.
come from in wing a bit.
But hopefully next season, if we keep him, which we probably will,
He probably I'd still think he should.
he'll probably be better because I think Fergie's told him, stop diving. You're going to get reputation. Sort yourself out. We don't want this reputation.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's right. And then your two strikers, I think this is really undebatable, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Robin van Persie for the amount of goals he scored and
Exactly.
he's been their standout player.
Robin Van Persie FC, is it?
Yeah.
Robin Van Persie FC.
Yeah, he could. Roma, I think he could get into Real Madrid or Barca.
I think
they-
he'll end up Real Madrid.
Yeah, I can see that happening. And this is the second one, and it's not Aguero. I've gone for Wayne Rooney.
Mm.
I know Aguero scored more, but I think Rooney's can do that little bit extra in terms of work
Yeah.
rate and
Well, the thing with Rooney is,
sort of in the linking play. And
he's not an attacker. He's an attacking midfielder. Like
he can play there.
he
I'd
can
say
go
we-
in and score goals, but he can
Yeah.
also assist.
He's
can-
like a centre forward / attacking mid /
yeah, he
Yeah.
sets up his own goals.
and he still
Like-
scores plenty.
Yeah, he'll just go, here you go, have the ball, give it back to me,
Yeah.
boom, it's in. That's the kind of player that is. That's why I like Wayne Rooney. 'Cause he's a brilliant player, and he's also. Would we say he's consistent for United?
Man United.
He's definitely been consistent this season,
Yes, I'd say so.
and I think he's also carried us a few times.
Yeah, that's the issue about when he comes back into the Euros. Who would England's second striker be? And it's so close to call.
Yeah,
I'd maybe give Welbeck just for the fact Rooney and Welbeck have played together,
yeah, I'd probably say that.
and that's the foot. Rooney, Welbeck, Sturridge, and then it's anybody's call really.
Yeah, well, the thing is, who do they play when Rooney's serving his ban? Because I'd put Crouchy there.
Welbeck, Sturridge. Yeah, I suppose you need experience, don't you? Possibly Crouch. I think it's debatable. I say Andy Carroll. I mean, he's been not very, not scored much, and he's only recently got his form, but his holding up play is sort of.
So I don't know about Andy Carroll because everyone's making this big deal about him because he's scored in the last couple of games.
Yeah,
But
he's also
is it just a fluke?
he had experience in England. I think he scored. He scored as well in some friendly
Mm.
last year.
I can't remember.
That forced it could be Grant Holt. It could be Crouch, like you said.
Mm.
Bent.
Could be anyone.
Bent, but I don't know. Bent's
Well,
gone
we'll
off
find
the
out.
tail.
Well, we should know soon anyway, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Because this is the England that's have been announced.
Oh, is it? Oh,
It's been announced,
Oh.
hasn't it? Oh.
let's go.
Oh. So, yeah, we don't know. This is all pre-recorded. It's been recorded 3 weeks ago, so we don't know who's been announced yet. It's been announced in 8 minutes' time, but we don't know who it is yet. So
8 minutes. Seriously, 8 minutes from now.
8 minutes from now.
That's
It's been announced. Yeah, Roy Hodgson's announcing it in 8 minutes, 7 minutes now actually. So yeah, the England squad will be announced, so you know what it's all about then.
Yeah, they've got a few injuries recently though. I think Smalling out, was that right?
I can't remember. I think so. I think Smalling's out, Darren
Yeah.
Bent's out, and
Ferdinand's fragile. He was. I think the way Fergie was putting him, he's like Ledley King.
yeah,
Couldn't. And also, he won't get on with Terry, will he? After
No, definitely
so,
So yeah, next we've got your manager of the season.
It's gonna be Alan Pardew. I think when he came, 5-year contract. He's a bit of a laughing stock.
Yeah,
I think he went down with Southampton, and didn't have not the most brilliant of CVs. And now and to stabilize, you got to stabilize them to mid-table.
yeah,
When they were, they could have been in a relegation battle, but they weren't last year. and then he's just to take him to fourth. It's just been phenomenal.
He's won the Johnson's Paint Trophy. You know.
That's what I mean.
That's a brilliant CV.
Yeah, no disrespect, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not brilliant, but
I think he's proved a lot of people wrong.
To say he's come from Southampton and everything like that,
he's entitled to be a bit smug. I think.
He's been brilliant this season, definitely. I mean, I think if I was to choose manager of the season, I'd say Pardew or Lambert.
Lambert's a good shout. So Brendan Rodgers, throw in there. Mancini, of course.
No,
yeah,
not Mancini. He's not a good manager. If you put him into like West Ham, he wouldn't do well. It's because he's got the money.
It's a theory of I could manage Barca. I don't believe in that anybody could manage a team with good players, because you need to get discipline, you need to get tactics, you need to
discipline
the training sessions. You need to know their mentality. I mean that tactical move at Newcastle won them the season pretty much when you pushed Yaya Toure forward when it was going to be in Man United's hands.
I could do that. Well, just go Yaya Toure, go there. And I said if you don't go there, I'll beat you with a stick. That'll discipline him.
I don't agree.
But
not just football manager.
I wouldn't say Mancini is top manager. I mean, he's made loads of mistakes this season. I mean, everyone has, but I definitely won't put him up there. And I won't put Fergie there either. I think Fergie's had a terrible season this season.
I still rate Fergie.
I still rate him. Yeah, he's a brilliant manager, but it's not been his best of seasons.
Well, he nearly won it. I mean, I suppose they'll say, well,
to be honest, yeah, actually,
they haven't won a trophy this year.
We have to give him credit because he hasn't exactly been working with a world-class side like he's used to, like Ronaldo and
no, not world-class.
Rooney and Tevez.
There's been a lot of teamwork.
He's had the young ones come through.
Like I said, they're 8 points clearing back in April, so he's,
Well, to win, Man City won on goal difference. We can't forget that. And Fergie's had the side where it's a young side. He's had Phil Jones, who's 19. He's had Chris Smalling in. He's had Welbeck. He's had
splashing money on every single position, which doesn't necessarily guarantee the league, and it does take a decent manager. That's why I rate Mancini. Yeah, and he's brought a few young players in. Well,
while we're on managers, we might as well talk about Pep
Guardiola.
Yeah, I can't say that.
That I was quite shocked by that, because he could easily have another 10 or 20 years.
Do you think he's done it because he lost to Chelsea in the semi-final? Do you think he was expecting to be in the final?
I didn't know he was expected to be in the final, but I don't think he should. I don't think he was put under pressure to leave, because he's still one of the best world-class manager. I mean, he won that 6 trophies, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he's done brilliant, and
he's not even 40 yet.
No, I mean, his biggest rivals, obviously, Jose Mourinho.
I think him and Pardew are proof that if a manager with a less CV, or who's just like an ex-player comes in, doesn't have the experience, it proves that that they can still do well. They can pick it up.
Yeah. We also might talk about Roberto Di Matteo.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's completely changed Chelsea's season. I mean, Andre Villas-Boas came in and he started off all right. He started strong, but then all of a sudden,
you got to remember he's 34. So
yeah. I mean, he was trying to do what he did at Porto, bringing in the young players, but he just couldn't do it, could he? And then,
I think some of the players went on his side. I think the way Drogba and Anelka, people like senior players treating him was a bit rather disgraceful.
I think he was like outly holding with the new.
He'd be the one where it was definitely sort of long term thing. I'd have given him longer at the time, but
I think he needs to go to a club that's not as big as Chelsea, to be honest.
Well, yeah, sort of a step up from Port, but maybe not quite Chelsea.
Maybe something like I don't know. What would we say?
Well,
I was about to say Everton, but I quite like David Moyes there.
Yeah, David Moyes probably won't leave.
So it was Liverpool. Put him in Liverpool.
Yeah. Well, actually, not sure about that. There's a lot of pressure, a lot of senior players at Liverpool.
Yeah, true. It's just that Kenny Dalglish. Do not like Kenny Dalglish.
Yeah,
I think he's a terrible manager.
I can't believe it. I mean, I thought they'd be at least 5th. I mean, I think they should still hold on to Kenny, because I think it's a long-term plan. And you can't just keep. They've had Benitez gone, Hodgson gone. It's not good. Keep constantly changing managers. Like obviously with Fergie, it took a while in the 8 when he started.
Yeah, well, he started off quite bad, didn't he?
Man United were.
I mean, if it was like today, he would have been sacked.
Oh, obviously, easily, yeah.
But because they kept him, because it was different back in those days.
Yeah.
He's been the longest serving
Yeah, I
manager
could get
ever.
the sort of rant about how our managers don't get much time. Oh, look at
Yeah.
Fergie and all that, but
Well, I think if they sign a contract, they should stick to it rather than going,
yeah.
get rid of him.
I don't know. I think Liverpool need to buy more. I mean, they've got a lot of players. I think if they keep the players they've got, I think in the next few years they'll be a force. But at the current, they need a player who's been there and done it.
Yeah. Well, they don't have any.
They need a bit more depth.
This season, they bought Charlie Adam, Jordan Henderson, and there's Shelby or whatever.
I think Adam started well and has tailed off. He had loads of assists to his name.
Yeah.
Getting rid of Raul Morelos on the last day was a mistake because there you had depth. You had him, you had Lucas who's coming well, you had Gerrard, Adam, and then Henderson. And obviously I think actually getting rid of him, though it's one player, I think it really made a difference.
Yeah.
Because I think he had a bit more of a sort of match winning ability on paper. Because he did it at the World Cup, and he was he was one of their players of the season last year.
I don't think they've had a respectable side this season. I mean, Luis Suarez for one.
Oh, that was ridiculous.
He's been a disgrace this season.
It's affected Liverpool's reputation around the world.
Definitely. Because in the derbies, I used to think, oh yeah, Liverpool, they're a good team. I respect them. Now it's like, I don't respect them. I just want to beat them all the time.
Yeah. After all the stuff they've gone through, it was nice, I suppose, to see him sort of do well under Dalglish with sort of not relying on Gerrard and Torres, but.
Yeah, they've just slipped in my opinion.
Yeah, I wonder if it's part to do with they had the Carling Cup. So right, we've got into Europe. Maybe they've not been as much. They've sort of stepped back a bit.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just Luis Suarez, can't stand him. But yeah, so Roberto Di Matteo, should they sign him on?
Yeah, definitely continuity you need.
Yeah, I think they should definitely keep him.
They must prove big names don't necessarily do it.
But he's been brilliant. He's absolutely changed the season. He's got them into the final, which they haven't achieved. That was
a tactical masterclass against Chelsea.
They haven't achieved since 2008 when it was against United.
For them, it doesn't matter if they finish sixth. If they've got the FA Cup and Champions League, it's automatically a successful season.
If they beat Bayern Munich on the home ground, which is a bit unfair.
And had Liverpool beaten Chelsea, they'd have been an okay season.
Yeah, but
it sounds.
Yeah, it's a bit bad.
I think it's actually put faith in the FA Cup and League Cup, which weren't getting as much respect from other teams, but actually it can sort of save a season and save a manager's job.
Well, on that note, I think we'll end it there, shall we?
Yeah.
Thank you, Francis, for joining me today.
Yeah,
we'll
thank
see
you,
next week, where Lewis King will be back.
Been a pleasure.
Goodbye, Francis.
Goodbye.